Hey, what's up everybody? I am Jason and you watch my channel, Micro Investor. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Ford stock. So if you're not aware, Ford stock price has gone from being around $9 a share in February to being around $4 a share in March, to then going up to around $5 a share in April. And Ford is a topic that is pretty highly requested on my channel, so if you guys don't mind, please give this video a like because it does help me out with the YouTube algorithm and it does help spread this video to more people that might find it interesting. So now let's talk about Ford. So if you've been an investor into Ford like myself for a very long time, you would know that Ford stock has been trending down for a while. Ford stock has actually been trending down since 2014, in my opinion. If you look at the graph, you can see that it was trading for around $17 and some change back in August 2014 to trading for, $5 and change now. So for me, as someone who had been invested into Ford for years, one of the things that has been keeping me around as the stock price was dropping was the dividends. Ford was paying out dividends of 15 cents per quarter, and every now and then we get special dividends as well. And then we got into this recent real event that has started, and what that has done is that has affected everybody, not just the auto industry, but sales pretty much has gone to a standstill, and what Ford had to do was stop production and also cut their dividend, which is what they did in March, and that is what greatly affected the price of the stock. And that is because there was a lot of people that were invested into Ford just for the purpose of that dividend. So when that was gone, a lot of people didn't really see a point to stay invested in the company anymore. And so that now Ford's stock prices dropped down so much, it's now attracting new people that are interested in investing into Ford. So in this video, I want to give my bullish opinion on the reasons why I would still invest into Ford. Now, this is just my opinion, so don't take it as any sort of financial advice. So we can look at it being good or bad that Ford cut their dividend, but I used to think it would be bad. I used to think that if Ford cut their dividend, I wouldn't be with this company anymore because there wouldn't be any point to continue to invest in them if they didn't pay it out. But that opinion has changed because you look at companies like Tesla, who doesn't pay out a dividend, they have the money to just keep pouring back into the company. And especially with Ford trying to restructure their company, they really couldn't afford to pay out that dividend. That dividend was something that was kind of hurting the company quite a bit, actually. Investing into a company that pays dividend is great. It's great when a company pays out dividends. Companies like Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Realty Income, when the customer base is there, the income keeps coming in, it's great to give back to your shareholders. But not when you're a company like Ford that's selling big ticket items, and sometimes you don't know what the economy is going to do or what's going to happen to really commit to something like that. What would be really great for Ford in the future if they did want to pay out some dividends was instead they did it in the form of a special dividend. That way they didn't commit to paying out dividends every quarter, but every now and then, hey, they would reward their shareholders with a dividend and they'd be happy. Other companies have done that and it's worked out great for them, and I can see that working out great for Ford as well. And with Ford cutting that dividend, that will keep an extra $2.4 billion a year on their balance sheet. So if you think about it, that dividend was really costing them a lot of money that they couldn't afford. And also in times that we're in right now, there's going to be many companies that are going to be cutting their dividends if they haven't already. The next thing that I'm bullish with Ford about is how they're restructuring their company, how they're getting rid of just about all their passenger cars besides the Mustang and focusing on models that sell better, like crossovers, SUVs, and their pickup trucks. And the passenger cars have really been hurting Ford's business a lot because it's hard to compete with companies like Toyota and Honda, which has been priced out differently in the market. But Ford has been growing with their SUV sales. Believe it or not, they've actually been growing 7% year over year on their SUV sales, but we don't really know that because their poor car sales overshadow it. And to be honest, there is nothing that is built Ford tough about a Ford Focus. That's just my opinion. And them getting rid of models that don't really sell that well and focusing on ones that do, and at the same time allowing them to create new products for their catalog, or not just create new ones but also bring back old ones like the Ford Bronco. Now, the release of the Bronco has been pushed back for obvious reasons, of course, but there's still a lot of hype behind that vehicle, and there's still a lot of people that really love their old Broncos, and they're really happy that Ford actually did bring it back. And Ford also brought back their smaller pickup truck, the Ford Ranger, which Ford got rid of over 10 years ago. And people are also really happy that that one came back as well. But what has me most bullish about Ford is their $11.5 billion investments into electrification. Ford wants to be a big player in autonomous driving and electric vehicles. Ford has a couple electric SUVs coming out, and one of those is the Mustang Mach-E. Now, people don't like the fact that Ford attached the name Mustang to an electric SUV, but they did it, and it actually looks amazing. The car MSRP is for around $44,000, and if you look at it compared to the Teslas, the Mach-E actually, in my opinion, is more attractive. Now, this vehicle gets 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds, and it looks just amazing. And I don't want to offend any Tesla fans because I'm actually a fan of Tesla as well, and also very bullish on Tesla. But it's great to have more competition in the electric vehicle world, because if it's just Tesla out there doing it, then you're not interesting enough people into buying electric vehicles. So having Ford actually jump on this is great for also Tesla. It just depends on how you want to look at it. Competition is actually a good thing when there's only a couple companies doing it. Another electric vehicle that Ford has coming out is their electric F-150, which will probably be a really good seller. Now, Ford has already promoted this vehicle with a little online advertising campaign where they showed the electric F-150 actually pulling a freight train, which was really cool to see. I don't really know the real details of the vehicle, but that's what they're advertising it of being able to do at this moment. But the F-150 is their best-selling vehicle, so it'd be really cool to see what that does and how that competes with the Cybertruck, which is probably going to be coming out around the same time as the electric F-150. Ford also is going to be releasing an electric Lincoln. I'm not sure on the exact model, but rumors have it that it might be an Aviator. But we'll have to see what happens with that. And they're doing that with a partnership with a company that they invested into, and that is Rivian. Rivian is a venture that Ford and Amazon are actually both invested into. Rivian is going to be making the delivery vans future, so that's something cool to look forward to, and it's really cool that Ford is actually invested in Rivian. And what Rivian does is their electric vehicle models are made as like a skateboard, and they have the battery and the motors and all that on there, and then you can pretty much put whatever body you want. So more companies are going to be able to use this model if they want to go that route than just Rivian and Ford. So it's going to be really cool to see what happens with that in the future as well. So I gave plenty of examples why I would be bullish on Ford, but let's just talk about some reasons why to be bearish on Ford. So one reason to be bearish on Ford is that before everything in the world happened recently, Ford was already declining in sales. And with that, we're not sure, with the changes that Ford's making on restructuring, if that's even going to work. That's something that we're going to have to wait and see what is going to happen. And another thing would be, how long is it going to take for things to recover with Ford Ford basically not selling any vehicles at the moment? How long is it going to take for things to be back to normal? And also, while time is taking its course on everything that's going on right now, how much debt are they going to continue to pile up while all this is happening? Because Ford already has a bunch of debt. Currently, their debt is sitting at $150 billion, which is much more than the market cap of the company. And one thing about Ford's debt is actually a good number of that $150+ billion in debt is actually from their auto financing. They do have their own auto financing, so when people buy a car from Ford, it goes through Ford's auto financing, which does add on to their debt, but that debt with their auto financing actually does make them money because, of course, people are paying interest and they're paying off their loans. So it depends on how you want to look at it with that, but there is a bit of business attached to it, but obviously not all their debt is that. And real quick, to explain how they make money off their auto financing is they'll actually get the loan to cover the cost of that vehicle somewhere else, and then they'll get it at a very low rate, and then they'll turn around and they'll give their customers a much higher rate for a vehicle than what they got. So Ford actually will generate about $2.5 billion off of their auto financing, off of the interest that they're going to get from those vehicles. So anyways, I'd like to hear what people think about Ford stock. Are you still invested into it? Are you looking to invest into it? Is it something that you don't have any interest in ever investing into it? Anyways, I'd like to know, and I'd like to have a discussion in the comment section. So as always, everybody, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I have new videos coming out on my channel all the time. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video coming very soon. Hey, real quick, if you guys need to build a website, check out my affiliate, hostm1.com. And you can find me on Instagram at micro_investor.